What's up everyone, my name is Jessekazam. Welcome back to the Ultimate Escape from Tarkov Beginner's Guide. In this video, we're going to be doing a basic overview of the customs map in Tarkov. If you're new to the game, the maps can be really confusing and hard to make sense of, and hopefully this will give you a really good foundation on how customs flows and what to be looking out for. If you liked the video, think about dropping a like and subscribing for more content and guides like this. I stream Escape from Tarkov and a few other games a few days a week. All my links are down below if you ever want to come check out the channel. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive right in. So, Customs is one of the oldest maps in Escape from Tarkov, and it's a really great one to learn if you're new to the game because a lot of the early game quests are going to take place here. It's an awesome map. Now, with these map guides, what I don't want to do is dive super deep and create really long video that has every single loot spawn, every key spawn, every extraction and spawn point and stuff like that. There are actually a few other guides out there like that that do a really good job of diving deep if you want to get into the advanced stuff and really dig into customs. But I want this video to be more for if you're brand new to the game and you really are just confused and want to know the layout of the maps and kind of the general flow. So with customs, the map is kind of broken up into these three main segments here. You've got the customs side, which has got these storage containers, the river, the land bridges. You've got the middle of the map here with this, which has the construction site and 2-story and 3-story dorms. And then this side of the map, which is the shipping yard, you've got some gas stations, this wooded area back here, and these boilers. Now, I want to start by talking about the spawn points. So on this map, they're represented by these green double arrows. So as you can see, as with every map, the spawn points are on each side of the map, and it's going to push you to the opposite side of the map for the extraction. Now, one of the biggest things to get to know is right when you spawn, being able to identify what side of the map you are on, so that you can figure out how you want to move across to the other side of the map if you want to take fights at spawn or something like that. But figuring out what side you're on as soon as possible is going to be hugely helpful. So some key markers to look for on the custom side are the storage sheds. They're just a bunch of storage containers lined up in a row on the inside of this wall. This building right here, a lot of people call it Big Red. It's just a huge red warehouse. And then if you spawn on this side with the train, or you see the river, the land bridges, that's how you know you're on the custom side. A few things to look for on the other side here, these big boilers. If you spawn in the middle of the woods, chances are you're up here in this top corner of the map. And then this shipping yard or gas stations, if you see any of the shipping yard kind of equipment, or if you spawn right by a gas station, you are on this side of the map. Now, the general flow of the map, like we said, is going to push you to the other side. So if you spawn on this side of the map, on the boiler side, your guaranteed extractions are going to be Crossroads and Trailer Park. So for me, these two have always been open if I spawn on this side of the map. Definitely dive into this deeper because there are more potential extractions. I go over that in my extractions guide, but the ones that are always going to be there are Crossroads and Trailer Park in this corner of the map. So you're going to have to make your way all the way through. If you spawn on the custom side, your guaranteed extraction is this ZB1011 right here in the complete opposite corner of the map. So the game is going to be pushing you through, and there's kind of a few choke points to be looking for. So as you can see, these walls really kind of push and close up right here on this area near the train bridge. They added a few ways to get through these walls up here, which is super nice. But for the most part, everybody's going to need to be crossing through that at some point or the other to extract. So just be careful as you're moving through here. The other obvious choke points are these bridges, because you're going to be really exposed. Once again, basically every player is going to have to cross one of these bridges. You've got the main actual bridge, 2 land bridges through the water, and then kind of a junk bridge, which is like some shipping containers and stuff that you can walk through. So those are some choke points. Be super careful while you're pushing through there, but you are going to have to push through those places. And then I also want to talk about some of the hot zones and big questing zones. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. The middle is going to be where a lot of action is happening. If you've got all these groups of players pushing to the other side to try and find players and get loot, the middle is going to be where a lot of the action is at. So the whole construction zone, there's a few quests you have to complete in there. There's a bunch of scav spawns in there, and a lot of PvP happens in there throughout the map. Same with the dorms, 2-story and 3-story dorms. There's a lot of loot in there. There's a lot of rooms, a lot of quests. You have to go in some of those rooms. So there's a lot of PvP that happens there as well. So just be careful, just be aware as you're pushing into these sides of the map and these parts. This is going to be a great way to practice PvP and PvE and all sorts of stuff like that. And then also spawn fights. The more you learn the map, the more you can kind of figure out where other players are going to spawn. And if you want to be aggressive right out of spawn, you can. It's also good to know because other players are going to know these sides of the map and can be aggressive. So just know that right off the bat, you know what I mean? You kind of have to decide what you want to do. Do you want to get safe and get to a specific spot? You know, you always want to have a plan when you go to the map. And then the final thing I want to talk about is the Scav Boss. So the Scav Boss on customs is Reshala. He's got 4 guards with him, and they all have way better tiers of loot than the normal scavs. They also have kind of different AI patterns, and he can spawn in 2 different places. He could spawn at this gas station, inside or outside around this area. And if he does aggro onto somebody, he can walk around, and his guards can be in this whole general area, but he'll spawn over here or in the dorms, and it can be in 3-story or in 2-story. And his guys can just be inside there on any one of the floors, just kind of waiting. So as you're walking through, just know that those are the threats. You can find scavs, players, or the Scav Boss. Now, the benefit of killing the Scav Boss and his guards is it's way better loot. And then the Scav Boss himself, Reshala, has a chance to spawn a lab key card, a Bitcoin, a special golden TT, and a few other cool stuff on him. So that's the Scav Boss. So that's kind of the general overview of customs. Like I said, I'll link this map and a few other maps down below. And then the wiki as well for a few other things that you can dive into. There's definitely a few other content creators that have made really in-depth guides if you want to get into that. But I hope that this helped lay a foundation of the map, gives you some things to look for so that you know where you are. And definitely just playing the map more and more will help you learn kind of the player rotations, where the scavs are. This map can be really fun. There's a lot of really cool moments to be had here. And I hope that this helped and got you more excited to play customs. Thank you all so much for taking the time to check out this video. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions about this video or if there's any guides you'd like to see me make here in the future. I really hope that these videos have been helpful, and I'll see you all in the next one.